Hi, welcome back to Plan and Order, our third and final video in our 2025-26 homeschool curriculum series, going over what we decided to use for fourth grade. This video is going to highlight our STEM subjects. So we're going to go over math, typing, science, and nature study. All right, let's kick off this video with math. So for math, we are sticking with Math with Confidence, and we've been using Math with Confidence since halfway through first grade, I believe. No, maybe it was halfway through kindergarten, actually, because I do remember using it in kindergarten. But we used to use The Good and the Beautiful, and at some point we switched to Math with Confidence because, well, I liked The Good and the Beautiful. We try to go secular where we can, and it was kind of a lot to manipulate to make it secular, but for the most part, we didn't feel like it was being taught in a way where things would be retained with our learner anyways. So we chose Math with Confidence. It's one of her favorites. She says, like, she groans when it comes to math, but then I hear them playing and having fun almost every time. It's actually really bizarre, but it's very hands-on, game-based lessons that stick. We do it 4 days a week, and this is what it looks like. So there's 2 workbooks for the kids. So you have your table of contents. Okay. Then you have what the table of contents is for part B. Then you have your teacher book, instructor guide, table of contents, and if there's any curriculum that I talk about in today's video, or even any of the other videos that you want a deeper dive on, comment and I'll try to prioritize that. Some of them I already plan on doing a deep dive with, especially the ones that have kind of a lot of bits and pieces, or maybe I'm going to organize and set up in a certain way that could be beneficial to others. But if there's a specific one you see that you want a deeper dive, let me know and I'll definitely make sure that that's a priority. Okay, for typing, I don't have anything to show you. We use Type-C, and I think she completed it, from what I can tell, last year. So I think we're just going to redo the lessons that she did last year and just keep working on her speed and her skill. We really like the program. It's really easy to use. It doesn't take a ton of time. It's been working really great for us. You get to unlock little pets after each lesson, and so it's kind of like a digital blind bag. You know, they have rares, epics, and stuff like that, and so she really likes that, and that really motivates her. So yeah, Type-C is what we will be using this year again for typing. All right, for nature study. So nature study was not on my original plans for curriculum this year, but it is the first curriculum that Aria has actually come up to me and said, hey, I want to, do this subject again. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to make it happen, because, she rarely has input to what she wants to learn about. And I kind of don't prod her as much as I used to, because it was fruitless. So I think it's funny now that I've laid off on that a little bit. She comes to me and she has a suggestion, and she's actually suggested 2 things. One of them I wasn't planning on being a part of this video, only because when I planned this video and we already had our curriculum established, she came up to me with this idea after the fact, and so hopefully I remember to tack it on to the end of this video. But yeah, that's, long story long, why we're doing nature study. So what I decided to go with for a nature study is Beautiful Feet books, okay, Seasons Afield, a literature approach to nature science for primary grades. The reason I chose this curriculum is because it is very watercolor heavy, and Aria loves to watercolor. She loves anything art related at all. And so, and it's just a really beautiful curriculum as well. I don't know if we're going to do every piece of it, but I do see us using the Bramley Hedge, and we will be using the Watercolor with Me in the Forest for sure. I already have both of these books, and so we're really excited about that. This goes over the literature that it's going to be you're going to be coming across as you go through the lessons, and then it kind of breaks it down by season, starting with autumn. And then, you know, you have in every section, you know, has a title, a cute little quote or statement, and then, you know, materials, books you can get from the library, and then you go into your different lessons. And so with this, you have your main teacher's guide. And these are the notebooks that I created for this curriculum. And I actually got two because I want to do this with her, because I also like to watercolor and stuff like that. So it's just half and half. But yeah, we'll be doing these together. This is the main book. This book is just so adorable. This is the other main spine, I would say. We go through different watercolor lessons. Okay, then you have field note cards. So this looks like, draw a picture of each component under each heading. Add this field note to your logbook. So, and then our logbook is going to be the notebook that I made. So we'll be taping these in there as we go through them. And then these are watercolor cards. And so, like in the lesson, it'll say, oh no, I got nail polish on that one. It'll say which watercolor card to use, and it tells you on here too. So this goes with Forge, which was the first one, and then you have Preserve. I mean, just really pretty. I'm really excited for this. I think she's really gonna like it. There is a lunar aspect to this curriculum, and then when I saw this, I think this is For the Love of Homeschooling. This was a free lesson they were giving away, and so I got this to maybe add on to the lunar aspect of the nature study curriculum that we'll already be doing. It'll probably be good enough as is in the book, but this was free, and I figured when that time comes, I'll take a look, compare, and see if it's something that we want to tack on or not. All right, so that's nature study. All right, for science, we are using Studies Weekly, just like social studies. And so we have our science notebook, again, half and half. And then just like social studies, every week the student gets this newsletter type format to go through with all the different articles in it. And than the teacher's guide. It's essentially the exact same as social studies. It has a good pacing guide. All right, and then you get into week 1. Just like social studies, you have your weekly assessment answers. Then it shows you the layout of the newspaper, and then it breaks down each article with the lesson guide. Materials and the kits needed. And then it ends with the weekly assessment, and then it goes into the next week. So just like social studies, I do not have the online aspect to this. So I had to do a lot of fandungling to get it to where I wanted it when it comes to some things, because there are some like videos mentioned in here. So I basically had to find videos that would like still satisfy that subject. I'm trying to see if I can find any quickly. Okay, so here you go. Online video, how do you solve a problem? So throughout the lesson, there's kind of things like that, and I had to find something that I thought fit. And maybe it was something I really didn't think we needed a video on, but maybe I found something else. Or maybe the lesson covers it, you know, well enough within the newsletter and then the lesson plan that's in here. But just wanted to point that out if you were to get this and you didn't have like the online video. Also, here's an example. I found a different video for this one. This one was just an image, you know, going over Perseverance Mars rover, but I found a YouTube video that actually, you know, gives a three-dimensional walk around of that Mars rover. So little things like that. It's a lot of work on my end in the beginning, but then if I do it up front, then, you know, things go smoothly during the year. But also it's when you're picking curriculum, at least for me, sometimes like I'll get a curriculum and maybe I'll get it from our resource library with the charter that we're with, and it won't have a certain piece. And so like, I know like, oh, I'll have to create that piece. For example, with both this and social studies, it doesn't have the weekly assessment questions, right? Like I think you're supposed to maybe just like write them on the board, because there's only 3 each one. The article assessment questions, the weekly it has for you to copy, but not the article ones. So basically I'm taking all of these and then putting it into a document, and then just going to create like a booklet for her. And so when I pick this curriculum, I know it's going to be a lot more work than if I were to pick a more ready-made curriculum. But also I'm saving a ton of money getting it through our resource center instead of buying it, because if you buy it, you know, we'll have everything. But either way, it's costing something, right? Costing time, costing money. I can make the time to do this, but I might not necessarily have the money to get all the curriculum that I want to get her, you know, for the whole year. And so it's kind of give and take. And in all honesty, if me putting in extra work, you know, allows us to have money for her to do something more extracurricular, like swim or horse riding or something like that, then that's where I would rather that money go. So yeah, this is science. Okay, so I just have 2 more things to share. Dog hair is one of them. Okay, so this was one of the things that she dropped on me that she had interest in, and that is she wants to shoot a YouTube video. And I wasn't really sure how I felt about this, to be honest with you, with her being on camera or anything like that. But I also think it's a great learning opportunity, and so I'm starting to build out a unit study for this. This is not final in any way. I just started because she just had kind of dropped this on me. But this is kind of a brainstorm framework, you should say, of some things that maybe I want to, make sure are in there. For example, I knew it was important for me to have safety, like online safety, to be part of this. So I have like the ethics and online safety section, publishing, sharing, planning and script writing, video production, that sort of thing. And then how I think I'm going to go about this is, I think that, I'm just going to make her video unlisted and share it just with like family and friends and not put it out to the public. So she'll still get the experience and, learn from it. But then, I don't feel uncomfortable because it's not like out there for everybody to watch on the internet. So that wraps up all of our subjects for this video. I did want to share one more thing with you that would have been in one of our other videos, but it didn't come in time. This is another notebook that I made. It's an approach I'm going to take to a reading journal. She did a reading journal. She doesn't like to write that much. Like, it's not like her favorite thing to do. So sometimes she'll lack on this kind of stuff just because she doesn't want to deal with the writing aspect of it. She's a very artistic person. So essentially I kind of created a reading journal, and I'm really excited with how this is going to go because it's very minimal writing for her. And then it gives her an art aspect because it's saying to basically design the cover you would imagine on the book that you just finished. And so this is the layout all the way through, title, author, genre, book type, and then start, finish, dates, and rating, and then an opportunity for them to create what they would make the cover look like if they were the designer of it. And so I thought this is really fun, and so I'll be sharing updates with how this goes in the future as well. That wraps up our plans for this year. Let me know what you're using for math, science, or tech. I'm always curious what's working in other homeschools, especially in the 4th grade realm, or any grade, to be honest with you, because I take inspiration from all grades, but right now I'm looking at 5th grade and up already. But yeah, thank you for following along with this series, especially if you stuck through and watched all 3 of them. I hope it gave you some ideas or inspiration for your own homeschool year. And if you liked this content, please like and subscribe, and have a good day. Bye.